The rise of the secret society. The rise of powerful individuals who had gained control over the elemental forces began when two families rose up against each other in the small village of Bale. These rival families were both extremely wealthy and influential, but they soon came into conflict as their respective interests diverged. As tensions escalated between them, it became clear there was no way either family could gain supremacy without outside help. This would be where the mysterious society stepped forward from the shadows and offered assistance for one side, if only they agreed to give some power away to this shadow organization. The deal seemed too good to refuse, so both sides accepted the terms set by the enigmatic group, unaware of its true motives and intentions. Soon afterward, the new alliance took on a life of its own as the influence of the secretive organization continued to grow exponentially. It wasn't long before rumors spread among locals that something much darker than just simple politics may have been going on behind closed doors. Fetched such theories sounded. No matter how hard anyone tried, nobody managed to uncover any real facts until, paragraph 3, a few days later, a young man returned home after having gone missing several months ago. His reappearance made quite a stir amongst his neighbors, who had never expected him back again alive. When he shared news of what happened during his disappearance, everything changed. According to him, he had encountered a mysterious being who revealed shocking information regarding the secretive activities occurring at night throughout the city. Apparently, the local population has come under attack by a sinister force capable of controlling elements like fire and water, which explained why so many strange things kept happening recently. With this knowledge in hand, the townsfolk finally understood exactly what they faced. Now, knowing their enemy better gave hope of fighting back and defeating this ancient evil once and for all. Little did they know, however, that it already had plans of its own for taking total control over their world. Paragraph 4. For weeks, the villagers prepared for battle, organizing patrols and training soldiers ready to fight this unknown threat. However, despite every effort, nothing seemed able to stop it, and eventually panic erupted across the land. Eventually, desperate measures needed to be taken. One person suggested seeking help from someone known to possess great magical abilities, and that individual turned out to be none other than the very creature they sought refuge from. To make matters worse, the entity claimed ownership of all elementals living in the region and vowed to defend them fiercely if necessary. Without options left available, the townsfolk reluctantly acquiesced to its demands, giving full control of their lives and destiny to this terrifying foe. From that point onwards, the town remained under constant watch by the creature, forcing them to comply with its wishes or else face dire consequences. Every day since the incident, the residents lived with ever-present dread, wondering whether their surrender had really saved them from destruction or merely doomed them forever. Only time will tell. Paragraph 5. In spite of the despair permeating the atmosphere, a few brave souls still stood tall, refusing to bow down to this tyranny. Amongst them was the leader of the resistance movement dedicated to restoring freedom and justice to the oppressed masses. Although she knew well that her actions put herself directly in danger, she also saw little choice given current circumstances. She recruited trustworthy volunteers and together formed an army willing to stand against impossible odds and bring peace to the town once again. After careful planning, the rebels staged multiple attacks designed to weaken the ruling class. Each success brought greater confidence amongst followers that perhaps victory was possible after all. Unfortunately, the enemy proved surprisingly resilient, often adapting rapidly to counteract each move planned carefully ahead. Even though the uprising failed initially, it showed promise of succeeding in future attempts. Thus, the struggle continues with neither side backing down, determined to win this war no matter what cost. Paragraph L6, meanwhile, the mysterious figure responsible for creating havoc watched closely, monitoring developments with interest. Overall pleased with progress, the entity waited patiently for final results before deciding upon next steps. Whether the outcome favored humans or not depended entirely upon the strength of their resolve. If successful, then the creature promised immense reward to the winner, but failure would result in swift punishment. Should the situation get complicated or dangerous for itself, then drastic action must occur. All eyes focus now on the epicenter of this crisis, waiting anxiously for fate to reveal itself. Will humanity prevail or succumb? Time alone shall answer this question. Paragraph 7. Suddenly, an unexpected turn of events shook the ground beneath the feet of both factions involved in the dispute. An earthquake ripped apart buildings near the center of town, bringing terror everywhere nearby. People screamed and fled towards safer places, yet somehow amidst the confusion a familiar voice echoed above the commotion, calling out to all present to remain calm. Slowly, a cloaked stranger emerges from the wreckage, seemingly unhurt by debris surrounding him. He identified himself as the head of the clandestine organization previously mentioned and declared himself fully aware of recent struggles endured here. Speaking confidently, the mystery figure stated his intention of offering aid to both parties in order to restore stability. Many wondered why he appeared so late, considering the amount of trouble caused by his absence thus far, although most felt grateful nonetheless for his timely arrival. Nevertheless, suspicion lingered due to past betrayal, but the opportunity presented by this chance encounter looked promising enough to pursue. What lies beyond remains uncertain, but hopefully it brings a brighter tomorrow for all. Paragraph 8. The meeting between leaders ended successfully, allowing negotiations to begin immediately afterward. Both parties engaged in intense discussions covering numerous topics, including political reform and economic cooperation, resulting in mutual agreement on many points. Furthermore, they pledged to respect boundaries laid forth in previous treaties signed years prior, showing genuine commitment toward building strong relations moving forward. Though distrust lingered amongst members, overall the feeling of optimism prevailed, thanks to the newly established sense of understanding created between adversaries. Such positive change provided much-needed relief for inhabitants eager for lasting peace. While challenges certainly remain to overcome, at least now they can approach problems with renewed energy and enthusiasm for finding solutions. Hopefully, the worst times are now safely behind us and a bright future lies ahead filled with opportunities never imagined. Paragraph 9. Looking back, the whole experience taught important lessons useful for surviving future crises. First and foremost, always think critically and don't blindly accept promises made by strangers. Secondly, remember to maintain open communication lines with potential enemies as opposed to ignoring them completely, especially in case of emergency situations. Lastly, recognize your mistakes and learn valuable skills along the journey that allow for improvement in decision-making processes. Ultimately, learning from errors helps prevent repeating similar blunders in future endeavors. Regardless of whether you win or lose in battling obstacles, remaining flexible and adapting accordingly makes it easier to tackle whatever difficulties arise. May courage guide our path towards victory. Good luck to all. Paragraph 18. And so the legend begins, the tale of bravery and triumph told countless generations, passed down for centuries. Who knows what hidden stories await discovery within the pages written, or what secrets lie buried below surface. Perhaps someday we might return to explore forgotten tales lost in the